Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. Well, we've got a packed day of work coming up for us today. We'll see how far we can get on everything. Today is the day that hopefully, if we get far enough, we'll be able to finally separate our dairy calf, Babe, from our cow, Rose, and finally be able to start getting all of the milk for ourselves instead of Babe taking half of our milk.
And all the cream. You know, the cows kind of hold back all that cream for their calves. So when you're calf sharing, a lot of times they get the best milk and you kind of get the leftovers.
Right.
So even though we've been able to be making butter and those kinds of things, not in a large quantity, so I am very excited about that.
Right. But we have to do our normal chores first. The first thing we need to do this morning, now it looks pretty bright out, but it's still pretty early with daylight savings happening this week. It's getting light out very early. So we're out here. We need to check on Myrtle. She still hasn't had her babies, but you guys, she is huge and it's got to be any day now. All right, now we've been locking Myrtle inside the barn overnight just in case she has her babies overnight. We want to make sure that she's locked up. And we have a heat lamp on overnight just in case. But I see her standing up here waiting for her food, so I'm assuming that that means she hasn't had her babies yet. Let's let her out. Hey, Mama. Good morning, Myrtle. I know you don't like being in there overnight. Hold on. Well, hold on. There you go. Go on. She has not had babies, but you guys, she is showing all of the signs. All right, so no piglets yet this morning. Now, the next few days are actually supposed to warm up quite a bit, so it would be really nice if she had them over these next few days. So I'm not too sad that she hasn't had them during the cold stretch we just had. So we'll just keep an eye on her. Right now we're trying to check on her every few hours just to see how things are progressing. Let's go do the other pigs quick, and then we need to head down and feed the chickens, ducks, and milk our cow. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Donna. Are you guys ready for breakfast? You are? All right, let's go. I know, it's so exciting. There you go. Is that good stuff? Well, good morning, Dolly. Are you guys ready for breakfast too? Here you go, Ginger. All right, and the rest is for Charlie. Morning, Charlie. How are you today, big guy? You can't even let it hit the ground? Charlie likes to try to eat as I'm pouring it. Apparently it's too much work to have to put your head down and eat it from the ground like everybody else. That sounds like the ducks and the chickens are excited to get out. I guess I would be too. It's a nice sunny morning.
Are you ready, Rose? Come on. Here's my girl. Out, out, out. Out, out, out. Out, out, out. So the project for the day is to wean our dairy calf, Babe. But we're not quite ready to do that. There are some things we still need to finish.
In a recent video, we showed you guys that we had cross-fenced what we call our dairy pasture. This is about a 6-acre pasture that we have out here, and we've designated about 2 acres of it for where Babe is going to be separated from Rose. In that video, we showed you how to put up the electric fence, showed you all of that, but we did make one change since that video that I wanted to show you guys today. Along this one row here, where there's the actual cross fence, at first we just had one strand of wire. After we got to thinking about it, we were a little bit nervous that maybe Babe would still try to find a way to kind of nurse underneath that one strand. So we did put up a second strand all the way along this area, and I think that that will, take care of any concerns that we had.
Babe is 7.5 months old. She's plenty old enough to be weaned. We calf share, which is quite different than the process used in like commercial dairies. So it's common for people who calf share to have their calves still nursing into, 7-8 months. But now it's time for that to stop.
Because Babe is drinking a lot of Rose's milk, it's really kind of depleting Rose's body condition, and we need her to have a little bit of time before the real cold stuff gets here that she can put some weight back on, really get ready for winter. And we need to breed her again soon, so we need her to really be putting all of her nutrients into raising a new calf.
We still will be milking once a day, but she won't need to be producing so much milk just milking once a day. So that's why we're doing all of these things, but we're not quite ready. We want some place for Babe to be able to get out of the weather. So we have started making kind of like a loafing shed for her, and today we'll be finishing that.
So this is the structure that we've started for Babe. We started this over the weekend. As you can see, we've pretty much got the shell of it done. This is just kind of a pole barn construction. The corner posts we have sunk into the ground about 2 feet so that the wind won't be able to blow this over. And we've got all of the boards around the sides. Today we need to add some metal siding, we need to add the roof, and we need to just do some finishing touches on it. Now this is going to be for Babe to get out of the weather, but this isn't a barn. This isn't intended to keep her out of every bit of weather. This is really a place for her to get out of the wind over the winter, to give her a place to get out of, when it's raining really hard or snowing. But for the most part, you guys, cattle don't mind being outside. They don't need to be really, really protected here in our environment where we don't get real extreme weather. Our beef cattle, really nobody around here offers barns to their beef cattle. They have lots of trees they can get under, and that is perfectly fine for them. The dairy cows, they are not quite as hardy as the beef cattle, so that's why we're building this shed for Babe. But this will be plenty for her to be able to lay down in and get out of the really cold weather. So we're building this structure out of all treated lumber so that hopefully it'll last for a long time. But the metal that we're using for this is actually the old metal from the building that we just recently tore down to put up our new workshop. So we're recycling all of the metal, so you might see that it's, you know, pretty rusty on one side but still pretty good on the other. So we're going to reuse all of this today, and I think this will provide us a good, you know, covering for the building, and it didn't cost us anything because we already had it. So we're going to get busy, we're going to get started, we're going to do the sides first, and then we're going to get started on the roof. All right, so the way that we're going to do this is we're going to bring over one sheet at a time. We're going to hold it up here, and then we're going to just trace this angle, and then we'll cut them. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we've got our line drawn on this metal. We're gonna go ahead and cut this. I think I've shown this to you guys before, but I bought this tool, I don't know, a year or more ago. It fits right on your drill, and it turns your drill into like a motorized tin snip. And for cutting metal like this, it's really an awesome tool to have. So I think this will work out great. All three sides are on. We're going to move on to putting on the boards across the roof, put the roof panels on, and this project will be done. All right, for the roof, we're going to be using these brackets that I had in my workshop. I put these up here. We're going to put a board every 2 feet across here. This ended up being about 93.5 inches across. So we're going to cut some 2x4s. We're going to put those up, and then we're going to start putting the metal on the roof.
Mm-hmm. I'll get this side if you get that side.
Okay.
Oh, this is tall.
You need the ladder?
No.
That's probably about 4 inches on the front.
Okay.
That's where we're going?
I think so. All right. I'll hold it. You get up there. Wait. Yeah, that side, yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So you guys, the loafing shed is done. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's very sturdy. I think because it's, you know, down in the ground almost 2 feet, that there's no way this thing's gonna blow over. So I'm extremely happy with the way it turned out. I think this is gonna be a great shelter for Babe and whatever cows we happen to have over here in the future.
Right. They'll be able to come in here and either just stand in here to get out of the wind or even lay down if they'd like to. This is going to be a really nice thing to have over here.
All in all, this project ended up taking us about 8 or 9 hours, start to finish. Really not bad at all. We did it over 2 days. It was like a day and a half, I'd say, of work. And just a real, actually pretty fun project to do.
So now that the loafing shed is finished, we can actually bring Babe over here. One thing that will be nice for her and for Rose is the location of where we're separating them from each other. This is the dairy pasture. They have been living together in here for a long time. So now that we've separated it just with electric wire, they'll still be able to see each other, which will let this process be a lot less stressful for them. And, you know, they can still hang out together, spend a lot of time together just on opposite sides of the electric fence.
Right. The other thing is we've already been separating Babe overnight for the last 4 or 5 months, really.
Yeah.
So she's already used to being separated 50% of the time.
Right.
This will just be now that she'll be separated all of the time.
So now we need to go round her up and bring her over to this area so her weaning process can start.
All right, well, Rose and Babe are actually kind of coming up to see what's going on, so we're going to get going on this. Just to review with you guys, this is our kind of setup here. We have just a gate right here. It's a 12-foot wide gate made out of electric fence. Right now the fence is off, so we can just open this up. Actually, looks like Babe's coming over, so we're gonna try to shoo her in here.
All right, go on. Go on.
We may have to try to get them both and then get Rose back out.
Well, it ended up being easier to get Rose and Babe in this section, and I think it'll be easier to get Rose out and leave Babe in because I feel like I can coax Rose out easier with some grain. So that is the plan, to call her out. Come on, Rose. Come on, Rose.
Here she comes.
Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Good girl.
All right, now that Rose is out, we'll turn the fence back on, and they're officially separated.
Well, not everything goes perfectly, so you got to think of a way to work through it, and that's what we did today. So this is an important next step for us raising Jersey cows. Babe is about 7.5 to 8 months old, so we will be breeding her between 12 and 14 months old so that she can have her first calf a little before she's 2 years old, or around 2 years old. We're excited to be in the Jersey dairy business. We love this part of our farm. We're really excited that you guys stopped by to see the last part of this project so that we could wean Babe. It was a success, and we're really proud of what we did. So you guys, if you're enjoying our videos, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button below. And really the best way that you can help us here on the homestead is just to share our videos on all your social media. Until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care and God bless.